Good evening, everybody. All right. I see Stephanie's question on, so how long do you think the market will hold up with these terrific gains? And what you got to remember, Stephanie, is a lot of the gains are coming in stocks that are doing well, obviously, but there's a bunch that aren't. So it's still specific industries. So that's what the market's really kind of demonstrating is notice how they take it down every morning and then bring it back up near the end of the day. That tells you there's good consolidation going on a daily basis. So I think we've got a good solid market. It's once it hits the 200 that we have to see, uh, start watching to see if there's going to be any reversal. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a bobble up here, but that's still going to produce some of the sectors still acting strong, um, while other sectors are pulling back. Ralph, I usually my main or my guess my minimum criteria is I want to again I'm trading only stocks that are trading greater than 5. I want to see at least 200,000 shares a day traded. Now, obviously, if it's a $5 stock, 200,000 shares is the bare minimum. The lower the price of stock, obviously, a little bit more volume I want to see. But on the other hand, if I've got a $75 stock that's only trading 100,000 shares a day, more than likely I'm not going to go in and buy 1,000 shares. I might be going in to buy 200 or 300 shares. So 100,000 shares during the day isn't too little volume. Okay, let's see the Nasdaq. Still in this nice, slow, steady uptrend. Not any real great move to the upside, but no selling off. So as long as the market stays like this, that allows the good sectors to continue. Dan, I don't anticipate a pullback. I think the pullback in gold has already occurred. And that is based upon this chart pattern where we had 4 weeks of consolidation, and now it's just now coming out of this consolidation, which makes this whole pattern very easy to identify. There's our classic fry pan bottom, strong price move, consolidation, J-hook pattern. So we could still be on another very strong price move. The other thing we're trading today, we stopped, stopped, bought with a stop into crude oil. We had a buy stop set at, we had a buy stop at 36.75. That would have told us that we'd broken out through this level, which it did. So we're staying long on crude oil. You can see what's happened here. Double bottom, and notice what's happened at the bottoms. First bottom was a bullish engulfing signal. Second bottom was a kicker signal. So you got a double bottom with the second bottom starting with a kicker signal. We're going to just stay long. We're getting up toward the overbought area, but I would be looking for the first consolidation up here at around 39.5, 40. So we'll stay long on crude oil. The only other one that we're watching right now is the bonds. And ever since they had that huge shooting star in the overbought condition, I mean, this is why you want to learn which signals mean something. And the bigger the signal, the more compelling there's been a change of investor sentiment. So once we've seen this pullback, where do you think the pullback's going to occur to? Well, look where our stochastics are, getting in the oversold area, and we're that far away from the 50-day moving average. the suspicion should be that they're going to touch the 50 and do some sort of reversal. Then you want to start buying the bonds again. That's all I've got as far as anything on the commodity side right now, mainly because most of the charts are just sideways. This is soybeans just sideways, and I usually trade or find some good trades in cattle, but you can see cattle's in a big wedge formation. So it's not worth the risk reward if you can't really tell or if you don't have a real strong breakout or a price move. So you just leave these alone. You go after the ones where, like we see in crude oil, where we can identify what's happening here. All right, so with that, I was going to kind of go through real quick the stocks that we've been following and why we've been in those. But because of the market conditions, I mean, there's just been a huge list now that we've been holding long. So we'll start with the one today we re-recommended RVNC with kind of your scoop gap up. Still want to be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow just because of this gap up scoop type pattern. And EIGI we've been in, well, it's a much bigger belt hold on the other charts. So, and it looked like they opened it here and then brought it up. So we're still would be looking at buying EIGI on positive trading tomorrow because of the belt hold signal. Twitter, as you can see, has some dojis up here. Either there's one of two things going to happen. One, they're going to come back and test the 50 to see if it's going to act as support, which means if it opens lower and you're long, you want to close it out. Two, if they open up positive, you've got a double doji set up in progress, which means you want to be buying immediately, that this J-hook pattern is still in progress. So knowing what the double doji setup is implying and knowing what our rule of the doji is makes this a very simple trade. You're out if it opens lower, knowing where the pullback's going to be, and you can buy aggressively on a positive open, telling us that the J-hook pattern is in progress. No, not really losing my voice. Is it soft tonight? Right, just because I always have a mild-mannered voice. All right. So boot, bringing up boot because we're still holding this one because this is where you kind of observe the obvious. And the obvious is there was the kicker signal, and since then there hasn't been a close below the T line. You just stay long until, and I would suspect now that they've gotten through the 50, they're going to come up and test this level right here. So the reason I point out, or why we want to point out where they're probably going to test, is if you can see an obvious spot where they might be aiming for, that once it gets there, then you're a little bit more diligent on watching to see what type of reversal signal might be occurring at that level. We're still long TK. There's this big fry pan bottom, and the fact that they came up through the 50, first target is right here. And if they break out through that level, then they could be coming up here to the 1750 level, which is a pretty darn decent return. And if they break through there, all the way back up to the 200-day moving average. CDE, you're up here in the overbought area. You have a J-hook pattern. And remember what we know about the J-hook pattern, that wave 1 and wave 3 should be approximately the same. And from what it looks like, it's getting pretty close to that, approximately the same. So this is where you'd be fairly safe. Put your stops someplace. And the reason you want to have stops in these stocks that are way up in the overbought question is you never can tell when somebody hits it and bam, they knock it down huge. You just want to be prepared to kind of maintain most of your profits. Nugget is still being affected by the gold prices. Nothing you can do with Nugget right now, except it's got a little scruffy little J-hook type pattern. You just want to stay long on this one. Now, if we were going on the basis that if, I think right in here, I don't know why this looks a little bit different, but you figure right in this area is kind of a wave 1, wave 2, going into wave 3. And if this is wave 1, wave 3 should take you up into about the $85 area, which means those calls have been working extremely well, but still is working off the basis that that this J-hook pattern could take you up another significant move, which means Nugget would be running right along with it. Zyop we've owned for a while, coming out of this fry pan bottom. Notice how they pretty much use the T-line as a support level. Now we're just watching to see what happens once it gets here to the 200. See if there's enough juice to get the price through that level. TMST, whoops, TMST. Another nice little slow curve, but you can see where they broke this downtrending channel. So could be another significant move. This was let's say 5.5 points. 5.5 points from here takes us up toward the $12.50 area. And quote is just now breaking out. I don't know why that's all we got for a chart. But notice the doji sandwich today after the morning star type signal. So this is our morning sandwich, our McMuffin, telling us there's probably more upside to this one. And con, another kind of bobble pattern. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on the anticipation they're going to move this right up to the 200-day moving average. And that's, again, on the basis that that pattern is pretty reliable. TCK, wave 1, bobble, wave 3, you stay long until you see a sell signal. LC was one that was a little bit worrisome on Friday, but what did it need to do? It needed to open positive and trade positive. So the worst case scenario is at least we know we're in an uptrending channel at this point as long as it stays above the T line. And we have a ton of them, but I didn't even list all of them, but all of them like these are in steady eddies. KMT, KMI, whoops, BRA, that's a little bit stronger. Again, notice the double bottom, and where did they gap this up? Through the resistance level. So you stay long on this one. KND, there's anytime you see that many dojis and they gap it, that means there's going to be a strong run in the next direction. I can make this one a little bit deeper. This one I would still not be too concerned about as far as buying on positive trading tomorrow. Yeah, with this big message, we should be in a 45-degree for a while. The golds, obviously doing well. AU, we just stay long until we see a sell signal and the close below the T line. SA is getting a little bit toppy, which means it has to open positive tomorrow. If it opens lower, to me, that tells me with the move going from 6 to 12, doubling, they may bring it back and test the T line on any weakness. OUTR broke out of this little slow curve very nicely. Where are the targets? There's your first target. There's your second target. Good hefty, that'd be a good 80% move to the upside. And once, if you're long, you stay long. If you're looking to buy, you put your buy stop right up here because you can see the whipsaw action, but you had the bobble. And as long as they can't close this below the T line, you pretty much want to stay long. And I'd be a definite buyer if it comes up through here. There's a gap to fill at this level, and then you've got the 200 right behind it. End tap. Still have a position of this one. Kind of a belt hold down here. And all you can do on this one is just stay long as it doesn't close below the T line. GLNG, another good trucking stock. We recommended this one this morning, and I would still be buying this one, especially if it comes up through today's high. Pretty much telling you they've broken out of this fry pan bottom. TRVN, another nice little classic. Look to be buying this one on positive trading. And LinkedIn, which was a good chart and has a story behind it. Still holding these calls and holding the stock. Once it gets right here, we're going to watch a little bit more diligently. We're going to see about taking some profits on the calls and on at least half the position, and then let the other half see if it can run through that level. Again, they're trying to sell their company. They think it's worth a heck of a lot more than what the market is indicating. CGI, another nice big slow curve breakout. You want to definitely be buying this one on positive trading. The upside up here to 14, and then the 200-day moving average are viable targets. Earnings on the 9th. Thank you, Don. SRPT. I don't know why this chart keeps getting smaller and smaller. Another slow curve. Watch for a bounce back up to the 50. Hydra. Nice fry pan bottom. Little bobble pattern. You definitely can be buying this one. A good percentage move. It's pretty close to I can figure this out. 80 cents on a $2.20 stock. That's what, a good 60% move. An ICON. This is what you're always looking for. Series of dojis and a gap up. Even though you're up toward the overbought area, this is more of a breakout. I would think you're going to see much more to the upside on this one. VMW. There's your bobble. Definitely would be a buyer of this one on positive trading. This will probably show up on the recommended list tonight. 35%? All right. Thanks, Sam. I was trying to do it in my head too quickly. BTU. There's your doji sandwich. There's your fry pan bottom. There's your cradle type pattern. And you broke out through this level. This one is probably going to be seen on the recommended list tomorrow. This one could move from the $5 to $10 area relatively easy. Obviously the oils are doing very well. We'll get to the oils here in a minute. OCUL. Observe the obvious, a nice fry pan bottom. Next target should be the 200-day moving average. Target on VMW, just first target probably up here. Second target could be as high as the 200-day moving average. And TGP, another nice looking fry pan bottom that just broke through the 50. Wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one. Notice how this uptrend started with your little hammer gap up. I'd be a buyer on strength on this one tomorrow. Let's see, I think we already did TK, another one. Dang, I don't know what I've done or where the charts keep popping back to. Wonder if there's some way I can refresh this chart. Okay. Right back again. And two, TOO, another one that can be bought. One of the I think they're transportation. Yep. All right, so this is what we're expecting out of a fry pan bottom. Is that big gap up. So that's why we always want to keep an eye on the fry pan bottoms. KPTI has the potential of coming right back up into this range or close to the 200, giving you a good 80% upside potential. RPTP at the bobble, scoop type pattern. Get ready for a slingshot effect to the upside. And EXAS did a McMuffin. There's your Morningstar signal. There's your doji sandwich. There's your confirmation telling us there's going to be more upside. I'd be a buyer of this one coming out through the 50 tomorrow. So the oils are all doing well, extremely well. If you look at these little oils, this is EPE. Started down here, breaking out at the $2 range. Closed today at almost $7. Just huge upsides. Whiting broke out around the $4 area. Closed today at the $8 area. Up 100%. And what is that? Whose handwriting is this? The GLF. Same scenario. 3 to 750. Just huge upsides. So there's CWEI. Notice what happened today coming out of this fry pan bottom. They broke through the 50 with a doji sandwich. And what do we know about a doji sandwich? There's going to be more upside. What do we know about a fry pan bottom? Usually a strong upside. And where does it usually occur? Right at the breakout, at the beginning of the fry pan bottom and at a resistance level like the 50-day moving average. And here's one I just put up. It's too late to do anything with it, but here's your kind of your textbook type of analysis. There's your J-hook pattern. There's your breakout through the 50. And when they broke out with this big fry pan bottom, where did they go? To the next target area. So this is why I'm not afraid to be buying something that looks like this. And a lot of people say, well, your stochastic's up near the overbought area. Remember, a pattern will break out usually when your stochastics are in the overbought area. Earnings on 310. All right, thanks, Don. What is today? Today is the 7th. All right. But even you might even see a 20-30% move just going into earnings. Pier 1, slow curve breakout. There's your next target. Whoops. ATRA looked more like a bullish engulfing, but notice the whipsaw going on right here. Another one that I wouldn't be afraid to be buying on positive trading, especially up through the 50 tomorrow. What is that? AG? Oh, that's silver. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. And eyes. Morning star type signal right smack dab off the 50. Supporting on the 50 with a buy signal. Where do you think your next target is going to be? 200-day moving average. Labu's telling us the fry pan bottom setting up in the Biotechs. At least it could move up here another 25% higher, just coming up to the 50-day moving average. And SIEN, another nice fry pan bottom coming off the 50. Could get a slingshot effect, at least to the top of the trend channel, which puts you probably close enough to the 200 to make that the target. Big fry pan bottom and PBYI. Another potential 40, not 40, almost 80% upside just to come up here to the 200-day moving average. There's your dimple, and remember what we know about the dimple. It's usually going to be about halfway from where the indecision starts to where the breakout is, and notice what's happening at the breakout area. T-line crunch up through the 50. So again, up here, where's the next resistance level? Right here is a little congestion, but it's probably close enough to the 200 to make the 200 your likely target. That's on GONG. Did I do this one? I forget which. Expo. Off the 200, or I'm sorry, off the 50. Next target is the 200, kind of your classic. And Scotty, there's your doji sandwich today. Still trying to come up here and fill this gap, but probably have enough room to take it back up to the 50-day moving average. ZGNX. For some reason that looked better, but you got the kind of the little bobble. You can buy this one on positive trading, breaking out through this level as well as the 50, making the 200 your next target. So tons of good-looking bullish stocks. And again, this market isn't in a stage where it's an exuberance. They're consolidating every single day. You start off lower and then turn it around and bring it back up. So the profit taking is coming into the market every single day. Thank you, Don, again. There are a few you can be going short if you're a little bit worried about this market. I'd be shorting AMBA on weakness tomorrow with the idea that this downtrending channel should bring you down into the $30 area. And ULTA is a good short. Same scenario. You got this downtrending channel, possibly bringing you all the way back down, at least to test these lows. And TXT, Textron, kind of your bearish J-hook pattern, especially if this one opens weaker. Notice what they did today, if I can make this big enough. They took it up, but got right to about the T-line and failed again. Be ready to short this one on weakness tomorrow. And OME, big bearish engulfing signal. Very simple rule of candlestick analysis. The bigger the signal, the more compelling there's been a change of investor sentiment. Next target could be all the way back down here to the 200, kind of coinciding with this low right here. Okay. The strong sectors are still, and this was kind of what the commentary was today in the afternoon newsletter, is that there's some, in a rising tide, all boats are going to move up in a rising tide. We're looking for the boats that are going to move up a lot faster. And gold is producing that that move. The mining stocks coming out of J-hooks or fry pan bottoms. And then because crude oil has finally hit a bottom and starting to move up, all these stocks that have just gotten obliterated over the last 6 months. If I can make this smaller. Oops, even smaller yet. And look where some of these stocks have come from. Something like Whiting, that's right now at $8. Not too long ago, trading at $90 or even $35. So probably a lot of shorts being squeezed here. That's where you, yeah, I would think crude oil at least has found a, especially with this double bottom here. Worst move right now, or worst case, is comes up to this little downtrending channel. But in the next 4 or 5 days, if it did that, a lot of these stocks could be up another 20, 30, 40%. There's a possibility. I think there's a wee little teeny gap right here. I don't know what that is. Oh, some sort of survey. Oh. Oh, man. But this one could still pop up at least another 20, 30, 40. And with that gap right there, taking you up another 60%. So today I bought the calls on this one as it started to break out. So had some huge profits. So I rolled out of the fives, I think they were. Took profits and then just bought some more of the, I think I bought the 850s. So I don't have a whole lot of money in it at this point. But if it keeps moving, they're going to still act pretty well. Okay. Right now, tons. I've got stars next to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stocks, 7, and that's those are the better ones. There's still another 8, 10, 12 stocks that on any given day I'd be going after. So even though this market is moving up in the overbought area, there's just not anything telling us there's any reversal coming along. $49 longs mentioned. All right. Let's see, real quick. TRVN would be buying this one on positive trading, your classic move. ICON, Icon, this breakout could take you all the way back up here. VMW, there's your classic bobble. This one probably will be bought on positive trading tomorrow because we know wave 3 would take us up into this range. BTU, humbug. I'm doing this wrong. BTU, nice fry pan bottom, cradle, doji sandwich breakout. This could have a quick run. Even back up to this level would be 100% upside. How many did I do? Whoops, did I just find another one? KPTI, fry pan bottom breakout. I'd be buying this one on positive trading. CWEI, doji sandwich breakout. And PBYI, another fry pan bottom breakout. I'll be directing this one more to the options room to buy calls on this one. But there's still a bunch of good looking potentials. Con, I wouldn't be afraid to be buying on positive trading tomorrow. Quote, same scenario, going into wave 3 of a J hook. OCUL, there's your slow curve. Could pop up to the 200. Okay, the difference between a stop order and a stop limit order is trying to think of a stock that could well, let me just find something. Let's say, for example, you had a stock that you wanted to stop out right here at the low, and you put a stop limit order at, I want to say 14. But if it came down through 14, your stop order would say if it trades below 14, you want to close out the position. That means if it gapped down here, you're out of the position. A stop limit would say if it hits 14, I want to sell it at 14, not any other price, just 14. Well, when they gapped it down and took it down, your limit order, stop limit said, if it hits below 14 or hits 14 or below, I want to sell it at 14. Well, it never hit 14, so you're still in the order. Or you're still in the position. Yeah, so stop order says if it hits that limit or hits that level, close out the position at the market. Where the stop limit says if it hits that level of 14, sell me out at 14. Well, if they can't sell you, if it moves so fast they can't sell you out at 14, you're not going to be sold. You're still going to own that stock going the wrong direction. Hope that cleared things up. Okay, any other questions, general questions on candlesticks? How do you pick a strike price for an option? Do you usually take the target price as the strike price or at the money? Depending on how much time we have left to expiration and where we are as far as the price move. So right now, with us being within 2 weeks of expiration, I might be doing spreads. But let's say we have 4 weeks to expiration, and this is just starting. I might buy the 10s because they're at the monies. However, if there's been a move like, which one had the big move today? I can't remember. But let's say you found something that had that's one. There was let's say you had a big, huge move like this. Well, to buy the 7s, you might be ready to turn right around. But if there's something huge going on, then I might say, I'm going to come up here to the 9s. 9s are only at 15 cents. So if it does move big, again, at least I've made some money on the 9s. But if it turns around and goes the other way, I've only lost 15 cents. So it all depends on how much time and what the price pattern looks like prior to getting in. And also the number two criteria, first of all, you want to know whether you're going to buy that position or not. So the number one criteria is analyzing the stock chart. Second part is, what is the math? What math makes the most sense as far as your risk reward? What was the stock you'll be mentioning? Probably PBYI. That one because of the price of this one, and it's a fry pan bottom, and notice where the dimple occurred, right about halfway between where this all started and where it's starting to break out. Might be going after the calls on this one. Oh boy, I'll probably be buying the Marches, because what happens coming out of a fry pan bottom? A strong price move. So I'll probably be buying the Marches because you still got about, what is today, 2 weeks of trading. Or, probably tomorrow, if this is a breakout, I'll probably just buy the March calls. Let's see. When there is so much move on the oil stocks, over 100% in some, waiting around 4 to 8, you wait for a pullback? No. No, if they're pulling back, that means the oomph has gone out of them. If I'm, and notice that we're not near the oversold area or the overbought area, you can never tell when they start whipsawing these to the upside how far they're going to go. So if I'm ready to buy this, I would rather buy it on strength, because if they started showing weakness, that's again kind of going into the illusion that you're the immaculate inception investor, that it's going to pull back, and as soon as you buy it, it's going to turn around and head back up again. If they start selling it off, what that tells me is there's profit taking. I better wait for the next buy signal. If they open up positive, I have no idea how much further they're taking this up. I want to be in it as soon as possible. Oh, Tom, I don't even know which topic we're talking about on futures tomorrow. I'll have to look it up. I've got 2 or 3 different videos that we've put together for futures. Okay, let's see. Whoops, let's see. If you're trading a weekly stock, would you do a spread anytime, you're trading a weekly stock. Weekly stock. Weekly options, yeah, you can do the spreads on the weeklies. I don't do very much on the weeklies only because I don't have time to analyze the shorter time frames and sit and watch it. So got too many things going on. But there are people in the options chat room that that do the weeklies, so that's usually a good place to get better conversations on that topic. What platform do you use? Carol, if I'm trading, I've got accounts at different places, but if I'm trading my small account for illustrations for everybody, I'm using Thinkorswim because I can trade stock options and futures right out of that account without having to move funds back and forth. Yes, the options room is a separate service, and again, we don't push it. It's a service that people wanted to get the conversation for options out of the main room because it's a whole different vocabulary, and so and we are probably going to be bringing on a full-time trader or two to keep the constant trade setups in that room. Do you trade gaps on stocks at market open? If so, PK, yes. Remember, probably our number one quantified signal for trading is our best friend. Oh, was it Icon that had? Icon did your best friend. So yes, you want to, anytime you see a doji gap up, pretty much want to be a buyer. Kevin, I don't use the clouds here. I mean, we have people that use them. I just don't need them, but they are a very good, yes, a very good addition to the candlestick charts. Where can I find beginner's material? What platforms? Stock options explanation. Is there a fast track class? Now, Bryce, we can do an options options Roman your stocks. Oh, I don't know if we have a basics on stocks, but we do have a basic on options. If people want to do that session, we can do that one of these Tuesday or Wednesday nights. Yeah, Don, that's Bryce. That's what Don is saying. If you want the basics for how to use candlesticks effectively, do the 12 major signals package. Okay, that's it on the questions. Jim, let's go ahead and do the double line. And in 4.6 seconds, do the second double line. Okay. Good year. I would just stay long on this one. There's your bobble. I would stay long. Probably your target is right up here because that would make wave 3 and wave 1 equivalent. Fro, not a great chart. Probably the appealing out of the stocks. If you're going to be a buyer, I would buy above Friday's close. It needs to come up through there. Then your first target is not too far away at the 10. Or, sorry, at the 50-day moving average. Domino's, get ready to buy this one on positive trading. The consolidation, as you can see, over the last 4 or 5 days will be over. Dust. Whoops, skipped one. Skipped 2, skipped 4. Dust, nothing here yet. Shouldn't be in it, or if you're short, you stay short. Electronic Arts as a possible short. Yes, you can kind of see the downtrending channel. Yeah, there's a couple good short stocks out there right now. SRPT. I'd be a buyer on positive trading. You can see the slow curve. Freeport, just stay long, but watch to see what happens once you get to the 200-day moving average. And we did Twitter. Twitter needs to open positive to stay long. If it opens lower, they're going to come back and test the 50. MKTO, I didn't bother to show because it's one of those steady eddies. As long as it stays above the T line, you just stay with it. And AXDX, just stay long on this one. First target is the 50-day moving average. Use the T line as your stop. And NVAX, this one you can be buying on positive trading. Once again, watch to see what happens once you get up to the 50-day moving average. Let's see, something's wrong here. CT, oops, that's what's wrong. CTRV, that's a good looking chart. Good fry pan bottom. Just make sure your volume is hefty. And Rose, another one where you just stay long as it stays above the T line. But these are all the type that once they break out, they can zoom right up to the 200, like we've seen a lot of the oils do right now. Eagle, same scenario. Just stay long on this one. I'd probably be trading these big movers off of my 10-minute chart. Helix, stay long. 200 is the target. And Tiva, left-right combo. You can buy this one on positive trading using the 50 as your first target. Sotheby's, stay long on this one. There's your Morningstar signal, kind of your doji sandwich or your McMuffin. I would just stay long until you see a sell signal. Fold. Another one, fry pan bottom. They did come back and use the 50 as a support area. I would watch now for the 200-day moving average. Visa, I'd be ready to go short on weakness tomorrow. Coming back down into the channel. And HBM, same scenario. If this one opens weaker tomorrow, it's coming back to test the T line. Weatherford hasn't gotten started yet. Probably wouldn't be long or short on Weatherford right now. Weatherford, I'd be more apt to buy it as it came back up toward the top of the trend channel. And PWE, just stay long. Wave 3 is in progress. Amazon got crunched a little bit today, which makes this a possible short. Just watch to see what it does at the 200. Otherwise, it might be coming back down into this the lower end of the trend channel. So this is why I'm saying this market is not overbought. Specific sectors, the biggies like Amazon, Apple, Netflix, they're all kind of lethargic when the oils and the golds are acting strong. Juno failed again up here at the 50. If it opens lower, you close it out and watch for the, I'm sorry, up here at the 200, watch for a bobble. Oh, Roger, what do we got? A smorgasbord list. You stay long on TRMB. And Royal Caribbean, this one you can possibly be going short on weakness. Bearish J-hook pattern in progress. See what the resorts are doing. Same scenario with Win. If it opens lower tomorrow, you've got a bearish doji sandwich. Just watch to see what it does once it gets to the 200-day moving average. MPWR, fairly easy. Got a doji. It's going to move in the direction how they open it. If they open it lower, they've failed at this level, and they're probably coming back to test the 50. So if I was long, I'd probably close it out on any weakness tomorrow. Primo Water, I wouldn't be long or short as far as a trader. And even long term, it's moving so slow, I probably wouldn't even be bothering with it. BCRX, I'd be a buyer of this one on positive trading tomorrow. Oops, why are these so flat? Okay. There's your doji sandwich that broke you out. Stay long on Gas L. Cuervo, double doji setup. If it opens higher, it's going to the 200. If it opens lower, it's coming back to at least test the 50. I'm sorry, test the T-line. Then if it fails the T-line, it's going down to the 50. ISR, right now, if it opened lower, you don't want to be in it, and it better have big volume for an 80-cent stock. Agro, this one you stay long. If it traded flat tomorrow, I'd close it out. And then I just put a buy stop up here above this level waiting for the breakout. Eyes, this one you can be buying on positive trading tomorrow. That one should have had a little star next to it also. The fact that you did a Morningstar signal right smack dab off the 50, supporting on the 50 a second time, stochastics coming up, makes the probability of heading for the 200-day moving average extremely strong. And PTX, another nice fry pan bottom that you can buy on positive trading tomorrow, breaking out. Let's see, what else do we got here? Devon, I'd be a buyer of this one if it comes up through the 50. Nice fry pan bottom. Apache, notice your Morningstar signal right here at the breakout level. Just stay long. You're in the overbought area, so for safety purposes, put your stop at today's open. It shouldn't come back down through there. Baker is not a very exciting one to trade. It's more of an institutional trader. If you like it, you can stay long. Just use the T-line as your stop. And WBMD, all you can do with this one is just stay long, as long as it stays above the T-line. Valero's in the bobble. Notice how it did a hanging man right here at the moving averages. I would have been out of it today. You can always buy it back if it comes up to this level, but I would suspect it's going to come back and test the T-line first. Then see about buying it back. Dominion, nice little scoop pattern. You stay long on this one. FXCM. Got a kind of a dark cloud and a shooting star. The only way to stay long right now on this one is it has to open positive and trade positive. If it opens or trades back below this level, I'd close it out. They're going to come back and test the T-line. Harmony, all you can do is stay long. Federal, just stay long. There's your 45 degree in progress. Scorpio, right now, if you're long, you can see the bobble. I'd be a buyer of this one. If it comes back up through today's high, that would tell me the J-hook pattern breakout is in progress. MFC, another one that you want to buy on positive trading tomorrow. Telling me that if they trade up above this level, breaking out, next target could be the 200-day moving average. Kenny ND was another one that I didn't look at just because it was a steady eddy. Stay with this one. Let's see. We did first LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I would have closed this one out today. You can see how the trajectory had disappeared. This one, you get ready to go short on any weakness. KERX, all you can do on this one is stay long. At this point, I would use today's open as my stop. It should go to the 200, but if it has enough strength to come back down through this level after a doji up here, that's telling you the selling has started. Skyworks, another one we stay long, but use yesterday or Friday's open as your stop. If it came back down through here after the little shooting star, it's coming back to test the T-line. We recommended RRMS. You can still be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. Your upside potential is going all the way up now to the 200. Good hefty upside. EIGI did more of a belt hold in one of these. You want to today it did kind of a belt hold. Let's see if I can bring the other chart up. And more of a belt hold over here on this chart. So I'd still be a buyer of this one on positive trading tomorrow. Chesapeake. Chesapeake did a little shooting star. What's your sell stop at Friday's close? If it comes down through there, they're doing a J-hook type pattern coming back to test the T-line. SRDL. This was one where with it opening lower, I probably would have closed out the position. Or if I'd watched it and it was trading off, I would have closed it out and then just bought it back when it came back up through the previous day's close. Oh, John, usually ordering all or none. That's still on a stop limit order. Usually if I'm closing out a position, it's at the market. Just get me out of the trade. And obviously they're going to get rid of all of it. Did I miss HIMX? I'd be a buyer of this one. There's kind of your rough fry pan bottom. A positive trading would put you into a J-hook pattern. But if it starts trading below today's low, back below the T-line, I'd probably close it out. Let's see. Okay. Guess we got them all. All right. I wouldn't be too concerned about the market selling off just yet, just because there isn't really a whole lot of exuberance. This is where I'd watch once they got to the 200, because you can bet your sweet bippy that everybody and their brother's watching to see what it does once it gets to the 200. Tyson, stay long on this one. As a matter of fact, you could be a buyer on positive trading. Notice you have your 45 degree. Now you've got your little J-hook potential setting up. 3D. 3D has to open positive to stay in it. Otherwise, you've got a shooting star, hanging man. If they open it lower, you're in the bobble, which means they're going to come back and test the T-line, but you don't know if it's going to support there or not, or come back to the 50. So close it out. If it supports on the T-line and comes back up, you can always buy back. Yeah, the Dow futures really don't mean a whole heck of a lot in the at nighttime. The only time the Dow futures are crucial as far as the open the next day is where are they 3 minutes before the market opens. Then you can get a feel for which way they're going to open it. KBR, nice little bobble. Next target is the 200. Okay, everybody. Oh, we're done early tonight. So we'll see everybody bright and early in the morning. Frank, we have we put out in the members area every night stock picks. You'll usually have 2 or 3 stock picks each night. All right, everybody, see you bright and early in the morning. We'll see you then.